Just want to let you lot know that if you're watching this clip on the Fozcast YouTube channel, the full episode is now available to watch exclusively on Spotify, and it's free. Come on. I'm going to take you back a few months. The Merseyside Derby. You know exactly what I'm about to talk about. The game ends in a draw. Big James Tarkowski puts one in off his ankle. A rocket off his ankle.
Amazing.
And you end the game with a red card, and you got a little bit carried away, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a big game, for us. Last Goodison Derby against, the rival. And to score that last-minute goal, obviously, everyone was crazy in the stadium. Even the player, the emotion goes. I think the emotion got, I get away with my emotion at the end. I just had a little banter with the fans, but obviously, he ended up like, a massive fight. And I ended up having a red card. But to be honest, like, after that, like, I went to the city. Everyone was like, "You're a legend." So, I don't regret it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, I think I bring a little bit of spice in these derbies, and everyone was saying, "Yeah, you don't need brand, mate."
Did you get fined? Did you get a club fine for that?
To be honest, no, they didn't fine me.
Oh,
of course they didn't.
That's
personally,
incredible.
like the manager called me in the office. He said the club want to fine you, and I said, "Yeah, I accept it." But so far, I didn't receive anything. So, to be honest, the club been very good with me, very fair, and they just understand what happened. To be honest, it was just like the emotion and. Even Liverpool they took 2 red cards, the manager, so it can happen to anyone. So
you don't see it so much these days. I loved that game because you don't see it so much these days.
You don't.
Especially like with the derby, like we saw the Manchester derby recently, and it was just very meh, wasn't it? Whereas that game, it had everything, didn't it?
Is that Merseyside derby, Liverpool-Everton? Is that the spiciest derby in this country?
Well, they call it the friendly derby, don't they?
I think so.
Yeah, it's
from
called
what I've seen, it's not a friendly derby.
No, as in the fans, and it's not like a fierce fan thing.
I don't know,
because I know the Blues, they hate the Reds, what I mean? Like they hate them, any staff you have in in Everton, they always said like, beat them, you have to, this Reds, like they said bad things about them, and, for me, to be honest, I always see them as a big rival, I always want to beat them on the. Obviously, we know some players there. You can be friendly sometimes, but during the game, you have to play for the shirt. And that's how I bring you.
That end of the game, right? I know you, and I know your temperament, and you're calm. You're very calm. You're a nice, calm, sort of laid back at times person. Yeah. And to see you just break away from everybody, and then within about it's less than 20 seconds, right? So you're obviously shushing other Liverpool fans. Less than 20 seconds. There is 40 or 50 men.
Curtis Jones came steaming
just grabbing people.
Yeah. And to be honest, like, I was a little bit surprised, obviously, when I didn't see Curtis Jones on my back. And I see all the men coming, all the players, and I just, I just get out, I was like helping the fans, and I was seeing this massive fight. I was just like, what I've done. But no, it was, to be honest, for the last derby, it was nice, it was a nice memory.
Did James Tarkowski talk about that goal? Is he still talking about that goal now?
I mean, I think in his head, yeah, because, you don't score like many of this, especially, like against the big rival, and I think for him it was a big memory.
It was like a perfect story, wasn't it? Like I say, the last Goodison derby, the last one, and he goes and does that absolute rocket.
Yeah. No, to be honest, like everyone want to be in his place, to score that goal. You all dream to score goals like that, especially in the derby. And I think James, he deserves it.
Did you see there's obviously a lot on social media, and there's a lot of people going in and going, oh, they only got the draw and everything, and there's people quite rightly replying and say, you obviously don't understand football.
Yeah, you don't understand.
You don't understand this game because
Liverpool,
it's mega, isn't
Liverpool
it?
top of the league, flying away, running away with it, and it was like a little dent in their season, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Because those Liverpool fans, those Liverpool players, getting one over Everton is just as important as everything else that comes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because even after the game, the manager, he said to the referee, he said, "Oh, if you lose the title because of this,"
yes.
So it means, so they were very touched by us. We heard them, to be honest. Because after the game, they were all like, "Oh, it's your cup final." I meet like McAllister in the doping room, and he was saying, "Oh, you're happy now?" I said, "Yeah, of course I'm happy. Yeah. You think it's easy to win here?" And he was fuming. But I love it.
What's the protocol with the doping then? So, is it one from each team?
It's 2 for each team.
So what happens and when does it happen?
You just meet in the same room. and you're just waiting for the doping. But obviously after the game, no one want to really to see each other,
Yeah.
So I just came after that. And McAllister was there with Idrissa, my friend, Ganage, and he was just like, "Oh, you're happy?" Like he started to be like, very spicy in the room. And I replied to him, and he just left. He wanted us like to finish, and then I think they bring the Liverpool players because
Let it calm down a
just
bit.
to calm down.
I wanted to see Curtis Jones and Doucouré in the doping test.
Imagine.
Yeah,
imagine Curtis walks in, he's good as gold. He's like, all right, well done, Abdullah. Really
And
happy
the
for
funny story with Curtis, to be honest, I met him a couple of times because he lives next to my house. And he's a lovely guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you even like see us on the plane going to Dubai, and I see him with his family, and we speak on the plane. And imagine just people feel like we hate each other, but we know it's just like
part of the game.
This is what it does, right? This is why these derbies are so important, and this is why we like to see the spice of it as well, because we haven't had too many derbies like this in recent memory, have we? Really? No. But does this derby then? Does it? I'm not saying you try harder, but is there a little bit extra? Do you feel like you can run a bit further, jump a bit higher?
Definitely.
Keep going a bit more?
Yeah, you have to. To be honest, these games, you have to run more, you have to tackle more, you have to be more hungry than the opponent. And I'm sorry, like these games, I love these games, against Liverpool. I always looking forward to play against them. And I think in the recent years, we done well against them. To be
Do
honest.
the staff, like the local staff members, do they talk about it
Yeah.
in the lead up to the game?
Yeah, sometimes, Like, the grand man, the kit man, they always said, like, make sure you're ready, They give you some words, like, during the day to make sure, like, everyone is ready. And to be honest, you have to give everything. Like, that game, you can see what it means for the Everton to be like a blue.
Did you
on the
always
city.
find that, Ben? Did you always find
it's
that
nice.
with, like, the baggies, it was the kind of the locals that got into you? Did you have that?
That's exactly what it is there. So Duke sort of walked off that pitch. He's just had a red card, but he's still a legend, right? But when he walks into the changing room, everybody in that Everton changing room will be jumping around like crazy. But it means so much to, like you say, the kit men, the masseurs, the physios that are Everton. They're blue. They're proper blue Everton. Boyhood fans.
Giving
have
it a
grown
bit.
up. And it means so much. And Dukes can see the smiles on their faces.
Yeah,
And you can like revel in that and enjoy all that as well. can't you?
Definitely, yeah. To be honest, like, they all say, like, we're so happy, we're going into the heads. I'm so happy for you. You're going to be like forever in the heart, So, this kind of things is lovely. You can see only this in football. So that's why I love this game, to be honest. And to play for Everton, to be honest, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Do you take any notice? So after that, obviously, rivalry, there's always a few idiots online, and like with any abuse, is that something you look out for, or want to feel you want to respond to?
No, really. You can't really respond, because there is so many, comments. It's not only after these games, it's after every game. All the fans from the other teams, they will send you, racist comments sometimes. And, sometimes they will just joke about you. And to be honest, you just have obviously to report it if it's very, very harsh and far. And thus you have to deal with it. Really.
Is that the way that you, like, any message to anybody else that receives? It's kind of, do you know what? I don't know this person. I'm never going to meet this person. They are just venting their anger. It's disgusting what you're doing, and somebody needs to be, like, basically found out for who's done that. But it is what it is. Yeah. I'm just going to move on. It's not going to affect my day.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, it doesn't affect me personally. But obviously, I spoke to the Premier League after, especially that derby, because I received so many abuse.
Really,
that day. Like thousand. I still receive some today. Yeah, it's crazy.
About that specific
game. Because obviously, like, what I've done is just like, but it's more like people from abroad. That's the thing. So you can't really catch them. So it's very difficult, So what can we do? I'm just like, and I will never meet them. And I just have to move on.
What do you think about players calling out? Because you'll see it sometimes where they'll screenshot the DMs and put it on their chat. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm the same as. That's why I said I used to get it in my head, and I would get abuse all the time as well. Obviously, I'd never get racist abuse. It's completely different, but it's still abuse. Yeah, somebody would be calling me all sorts. They would be talking about my kids or my family, or they'll be talking about something, and I used to just think, you poor bugger, like you must be so sad at home, like really angry, and I'd hate to live in that person's head, and I would just think, oh well, I'm going to move on with my day. And that's how I used to tell the young lads as well, don't pay any attention to it. That person is a sad individual in their bedroom at home. Leave them to it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what you can do. The only thing you can do, really, because there's people, they just try to obviously to hurt you, to pay, like, you to give them attention. And as a football player, you just have to move on. Obviously, like, you have to stand against it. like against racism, against abuse, against discrimination. I'm very, I want to stand against this. But end of the day, you have to move on or have your life.
I think it's simple. Thanks everybody for watching. We hope you enjoyed this clip of the Fozcast. If you would like to watch the full episode, it is now available exclusively on Spotify for free.